When people think about Michael Jordan and they think about him in the totality of who he is, football players can't be that, right? Football players don't get to change the game globally in that way. No one player is going to do that. And then there's the other side of it, that quarterbacks are the guys who get to be responsible for winning championships. So it's going to be, well, Tom Brady has to be Michael Jordan because Michael Jordan's the GOAT. I wasn't talking about that. And then you go to, well, Odell Beckham Jr. has to be the guy because he's with Neymar, he's with Lewis Hamilton, he's doing all these things. He's made this game go global. They know him in all these different places. That wasn't what I was talking about. When Michael Jordan played the game, the gap between him and the next best player that did what he did, which is different in basketball, right? Because basketball is positionless by what you're asked to do, because you're asked to play defense, you're asked to play offense, you're asked to put the ball in the hole, you're asked to defend, you're asked to pass, you're asked to shoot. Everybody gets an opportunity to do that. Michael Jordan did that exponentially better than everybody else who got the same chance. Aaron Donald doesn't get a chance to play quarterback, right? So I can't compare him to Tom Brady. Aaron Donald doesn't get the chance to run the football, so I can't compare him to Todd Gurley. All I can compare him to are his peers, are his contemporaries that play his position. And the gap between Aaron Donald and whether it's Fletcher Cox, Chris Jones, Gerald McCoy, Geno Atkins is the same gap that we saw between Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon, the same gap that we saw between Michael Jordan and Clyde Drexler, Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins. All of these players who were great players in their own right.
Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan and Larry Bird, Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan and LeBron James.
Right, my thing is Aaron Donald and the people, Aaron Donald and the people that do the same thing that he does, there is no discussion. We don't talk about anybody else who's rushing the passer and stopping the run and say that they should earn MVP votes. But everybody wants to make it this all-encompassing Michael Jordan conversation. The reason that it was a quick part of what I said, because I was only talking about a facet of who he was.
On that part. Yeah. Then after the show, we're going to take social media. We're only going to clip that part. We're going to send it out all over, and you're going to have 1,000 people on your timeline screaming you and cussing you out. That's the way this works.
Kind of the way I felt about you with the Kobe thing yesterday.
Yeah, on the all-worst team.
That's fine. By the way, if I'll revisit that right now before I get you.
Please don't.
If I told you player X, no name, shot the most on the team, didn't play defense, and was under 40% from the field and under 30% from three in spite of jacking up 7 threes, you'd say that's the worst player in the NBA. Now, I put the name Kobe Bryant on it, everyone goes, oh, you can't say that.
In history.
Look, I've never seen anyone more destructive at the end. Anyway, the point is this. You are, how old are you now?
39, I'll be 40 in October.
Look at that. But you're still a youngin' compared to me. I turned 46 yesterday. Now, at least you're a step better than most people who make this argument, who are like, this guy's the Michael Jordan of something, simply meaning they're the best at it. And while that's a credit to Michael Jordan, in a way it damns him with faint praise. And you got that part right. Hold up. It's not just that you're the best at it. It's that it is silly to compare anybody to you best at it, right? But it's not even just that. It's that it's silly to compare anyone who ever lived to you, because they're going to get their feelings hurt. But it's not just that. It's that you are so transcendent that it's actually kind of silly to compare any athlete who ever played a team sport to you. Aaron Donald's not in that conversation. Listen, if you want to say no quarterbacks, NFL, it's not really possible to have a Jordan. Pick a defensive player. LT was more spectacular in his prime than Aaron Donald. Well, they're all about the same. LT was better. If they're both available, I'm taking LT.
But tell me how, though.
Deion Sanders.
Tell me how, right? Tell me how for what? Well, Aaron Donald can do the things that LT does. We don't get the pick.
LT won an MVP
body
and a
type
Super Bowl.
And positions.
MVP and a Super Bowl in the same year was more exciting to watch, more athletic, faster, tackled harder, better against the run.
With LT, he tackled harder. He was better against the run. Cut it out.
Hold on.
Listen, I don't want to.
Better covering multiple positions. Hit the quarterback harder.
Because he played linebacker.
Go watch YouTube, brother.
Because anybody can hit the quarterback harder than that era, Max. We don't get to touch him now.
Okay. Aaron Donald's great. I'm a big Aaron Donald guy. I was saying he was the best
like
before other people.
I don't feel like you are.
Khalil Mack, when he's healthy, and Aaron Donald's a good argument.
No, it's not a good argument.
Yeah, when Khalil Mack's
It's
healthy,
not a good argument.
yes, it is.
It's
Because
not a good
Khalil Mack
argument.
is more versatile.
Because I had 12 and a half sacks to 22. Like, it's not to 20. It's not a good argument.
Khalil Mack is more versatile. The point, and he's being slept on. When LT was
No, he's not. I had him in my top 5.
When LT was in his prime, there was no good argument next to LT. By the way, not just at linebacker. In the NFL, there was no argument.
There's
When Deion Sanders was in his prime, like, just because you're the best corner doesn't make you Deion Sanders nowadays.
100%. I agree with that.
Deion Sanders.
I agree with that.
So,
Aaron Donald is as dominant at his position as Deion was at his.
No, not quite.
As Lawrence Taylor.
No, not quite.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. He's
yes,
great,
he is.
but he's not quite
He's
that.
done things from this position the same way when Deion started doing things, it revolutionized the position.
Take it just
They're
to
now
tackle.
looking at Aaron Donald.
Let's not just keep it to tackle, because one of the reasons you play tackle is because you're not versatile enough to play on the outside. That's one of the reasons. So just keep it to defensive tackle, okay? You think that Aaron Donald has more of an influence on the game compared to Fletcher Cox, for example,
100%.
than Lawrence Taylor did to the best outside linebacker?
I don't even remember the best outside linebacker.
Right. You remember LT, but I'll tell you what, you'll remember other tackles from this era.
Right.
And by the way,
then you think too, like you even go LT to Derek Thomas. Okay. Derek Thomas was that type of player. We haven't seen a player like that.
Let's keep it to
at Aaron Donald's position.
Let me go back. Let's keep it to defensive line, because again, after all, if Aaron Donald could play on the outside, you could move him around, right, making him even better. Is Aaron Donald on the defensive line as good or better than J.J. Watt was a year or two before his prime?
Yes, he is.
I think J.J. Watt at his best was better than Aaron Donald.
No, J.J. Watt is actually one of the few players who in his prime was in this conversation.
But what I'm saying,
he's in the Lawrence Taylor.
They're
the only 3 people to win two defensive players of the year.
Guys, we can continue the conversation. We have to pay the bills.
Raising my hand.
And it's so easy. 6 rings, Tom Brady. 6 rings, Michael Jordan.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.